Good afternoon, garden friends. Today is a busy day. I am doing some fall planting in my raised garden bed in my front yard. I'm also getting some of my pots replanted with some fall plants. I'm going to be cleaning out my beds that are at the end of the street, going ahead and getting the petunias cleaned out. I'm going to be moving some of my asters up to my secret garden. Like I said, one thing about gardening, being able to reutilize the items that you have because you love them. The other thing is I have 2 sunshine Ligustrums that I am going to be digging up because they are not doing well where they're at, and I'm going to plant 2 new ones, but I think I'm going to move the 2 that I'm taking out and putting them in another area that gets maybe not so much sun because they were real little. So come along with me while we go ahead and get this work done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this bed filled with the flower and vegetable garden soil that has the fertilizer in it already, just to make sure the plant's can have a good start. So let's just go ahead and get this knocked out. We were going to need, I think we got like 20 bags here, but I don't think I'm going to need them all to fill this up. But once I get the plants in, I'll use the remaining to sort of like top it off. So we might end up using all of them. I got that in here, and now what I'm going to do is go ahead and lay out how I'm going to be putting my new plants in here that are going to be in this flower bed. So I'll go ahead and get them laid out, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys what it looks like when I'm all done with it. Okay, so this is what the layout is going to be for this flower bed. Got the sunshine ligustrum, which will full sun to part sun, and that's what this area gets. And it will get 3 to 6 inches high, 3 to 4 inches wide. And they say with these, you can shape them for the height that you want. So, and then the fact too that I have the pentas and the zinnias here, which are annuals, it gives me more than enough room for when the sunshine ligustrums get big. And then these guys will get 5 to 24 inches, and these guys will end up getting 12 to 36. So that's why I have them staggered that way. And then a perennial that I want to have in here is the How Wow Wild Berry Coneflower. And this is a perennial that comes back every year, and it will get 15 to 18 high, 12 to 18 wide. And then this area too, I'm going to be putting some bulbs in here. Preferably, I think my ice follies will be in here because I think that'll look really nice with the sunshine ligustrum and the coneflowers when they they come up. All right, so let me go ahead and get these guys planted and then top it off with the rest of the soil, and I'll show you guys that when I'm done. The new bed is all done. It looks so nice, and the good thing about, you know, the plants, like I said, the sunshine ligustrum and the coneflowers will come back, and then I can just throughout the season pop in fall plants and what have you. But I will be putting all of my ice folly daffodils in here. Okay, so these are some other things that we did today. I potted up my 3 pots that go up on my front deck with some zinnias and some red cordyline. We also have hot peppers that we had to graduate to bigger containers. Look at them. I actually use my grow bags and then just reuse some bigger pots that I had plants in. And then I also planted a plumbago here because I tried my hand at doing hyacinth bean, but I think it was just too hot here in this location. But I'm going to try out the plumbago because it says it's supposed to be able to handle the heat. But like I said, today is a busy day for things that we have to get done. So we're going to go ahead and more than likely start and get, the 2 sunshine ligustums that aren't doing too well dug up, and I'll also put those in my grow bags. And let me tell you guys something, the grow bags are phenomenal because it allows air circulation, drainage, just the whole 9 yards. So hopefully by me putting those 2 that aren't doing too well in the grow bags, it will help them recuperate. Okay, so these are the 2 that I'm gonna dig up. I mean, this one isn't too bad, but it doesn't look like the other ones. So hopefully I will be able to reinvigorate these guys, and then the 2 new ones that we're putting up here hopefully will take. Okay, so we figured out what's going on. The Bermuda grass is literally suffocating these. So we took out all the dirt, and then I'm gonna take this dirt off of and get it back to this state in my grow bags, and hopefully that will help this get back up to snuff. And these guys are planted with some rich soil and fertilize. Okay, so it is time to do some fall cleanup. I'm gonna go ahead and get my bubblegum petunias pulled out of here, my asters, because one thing that I am finding is they're sort of choking out everything, but I'm just going to move those to another location, get my irises and my purple passions trimmed back because it's sort of blocking my daylilies that I have back here, and I don't like them spilling over into the driveway. And then I have a pin cushion that's back in there that is not able to bloom. So I'm going to end up getting this cleaned up on both sides of the entranceway of the flower bed. And then the goal is to place the perennial of the Liriope and the violas in there for my fall colors. We're going to go ahead and get the bubblegum petunias pulled out. I said, the asters pulled out. The asters I'm gonna place over in my secret garden because I want plants that are just a little bit lower to the ground in here, to where it's not smothering out my crepe myrtle. And then I want to be able to see the distinction of the crepe myrtle and just get some things cleaned up out here. So it's not going to take that long. And as you guys know, this was only 7 bubble gums that have filled in this area. That's the one thing that I do love about them. And I'm liking how this is, by removing those, and then like I said, going with some shorter plants in here, opens up for good air circulation for my crepe myrtle. And then these guys are really hardy. So, like I said, I'm going to move them over into my secret garden, sort of allow more air circulation. And then I have my gladdies back there, and I forget what the name of that plant is in the corner with the pink shoots on it. But I'm gonna get that trimmed back, the stuff that has died off of it. So. Now, while I may be pulling these out, because they do spread, some will still pop up, but I'll just keep an eye on those and then just stay on top of keeping them pulled out. And I might put some back in there, but just thin them out since they're so thick. And for those that, when I did do this bed, these guys, they were probably no taller than this and very thin looking. But that's the one thing that I do like about the asters, is that they get nice and full and you don't have to have like a big bush to plant in here. That looks nice already. And then like I said, the plant sets behind, this is the stuff that's dying back, so I'm going to go ahead and get those cut and leave the nice rich green flowers in there. Probably the asters that I'm going to put back in here, I'm going to trim those down and maybe put them more towards this end, away from the crepe myrtle. So I got to go get my clippers. And these guys are nice and hardy too. I'm gonna go in there and, like I said, the ones that are, the leaves that are brown, get those cleaned out because the greenery is like the new flesh. Plus too, it'll allow air circulation in here because these guys get really, really thick. Oh, I'm so loving being able to see my crepe myrtle. Let's get this raked out. And then I think I'm going to clip those gladdies that are over there that have already bloomed. They're already browning back. Go ahead and sprinkle some tone in each of the plants that I put down in here, so they got a nice, good, healthy start for the fall and winter. And let me get the rake. And then, like I said, I'm going to cut some of these guys back and plant them maybe a little more towards the outskirts so it does not come in here and suffocate or choke out my crepe myrtle. The one good thing is this soil is like so rich because I usually in the springtime put some compost on it because I do have to deal with the crepe. Okay, I'm just gonna sort of lay out the plants how I think I want them. I'm gonna figure out how I want to lay these out, but because some of these I got off of clearance, I want to get them cleaned up and then I'll get them placed and then I'll show you how I'm gonna lay these guys out and get them in the ground. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be laying this out. So I planted the asters, and then I have a powwow berry coneflower, and then I have violas, and then I have Liriope grass, and pretty much mimicked it on the same side. So everything except for the violas, but they'll last through the winter. I even think the Liriope will last because it did last year for what I have in the back. But to be able to have some flowers in here for the fall, and then probably mid-October, I'll come in here and start putting in my bulbs. And I think what this does is it lets me know which bulbs I need to plant in here so that while the greenery is getting nutrition for the daffodil bulbs, while they're dying back, I'll still have some plants that will camouflage the dying back foliage. So, okay, so let me go ahead and get these guys all planted. And as usual, you know, plant them, put my biotone in, and then give a nice, healthy dose of water to all the plants. I just like the fact that my crepe myrtle is not being invaded by the petunias and also the asters, just more uniform. This is the next section that I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned out. Like I said, while I love the purple hearts, they have the tendency of taking over. So I'm going to thin them out so you can see my daylilies and also my bachelor buttons that are buried right in there. And as you can see, you can now see my bachelor button that was being overrun by the purple hearts, but I got those guys all cleaned up, and you can see my daylilies, which are doing well on this side. And then I did the exact same thing on the other side of the front entranceway, and just like I said, cut back those purple hearts because they do get very hardy in this spot. And I think maybe in the spring when they start to come up, probably should do it now. Go ahead and thin them out instead of just snipping them. But I do sort of like the bushiness of them. And then this is the other bed that has the asters, the violas, and the lymphope. And like I said, the main goal was to keep the plants from suffocating my crepe myrtle. All right, so this was all that I planned on doing today.